say we were kind of kindred spirits. We recognized that somehow we had a connection. I think the incredible thing is that Chicago, our hometown, gave us a foundation that we could take with us around the world. Each one of us pursued their music, composition, and improvisation, and in the process put their mark on it. Muhal's my mentor, and I used to go over to his house.
Okay.
Yes.
So he gonna do his Jack and do his stuff coming right off of Jack. Ping, ping, we in the number 4. And just keep it.
His door was always open. He was always open to a lot of things. After playing, say, like in traditional situations, jazz, bebop, started exploring other ways of composition and improvisation. And we would get together and we would play some.
We've been talking for a long time, and occasionally we talk about doing something together. So it wasn't a surprise when he said he wanted to do this, you know what I mean? It was like, well, we finally got to something. Once you play music with people, it creates a bond that is never broken.
I met Roscoe. I was going to junior college at Wilson.
Wilson Junior College.
And Henry.
Yeah, we were all up at Wilson.
And so we all sort of, recognized something in each other. And we started getting together to play. In the houses, they had attics. So we used to play concerts in the attics.
We polarized around people that you kind of sensed they had some kind of individual voice and vision without talking about it at that point because we were much younger. But we knew that. I think we knew that about each other, that this person has got an individual thing that they're trying to do. And I think when you're young, you're looking for somebody that's trying things in life that you're trying, because you need some kind of comradeship. Especially if you're going to strike out on your own.
We're just picking up from wherever we left off at. So to me, it's just a continuation. In the early days, Muhal had the experimental band. We used to rehearse every Monday night up at the CNC on 67th and Cottage Grove there. And Jack was in the band there at that time. And so it's like family, so to speak. And I think you can make great accomplishments in music by having these long-standing relationships with people. Because if you'd have told me back then that this thing never stops, I might not have believed you. But now I see that that's really true, So it's a good thing. It's a great thing to have these long-standing relationships with people in music.
Jack in 1994. He had this deep love of these musicians that came out of Chicago because they were his roots. At the same time, always having his own sound, knowing exactly what he wants to do and having his own voice within that context. Certainly the feeling of community in Chicago and the idea about what would be expected when you're coming up to play with somebody. The flow is the most important thing that I connect. It's not about, we're going to play these notes that we rehearsed. You're getting that's the thing about AACM and about free music. When you get into something where you're not thinking about, I have to play here comes the fifth bar, got to go to the C sharp minor and all that sort of thing. This is really about having a real connection, and letting and then things will really come out.
People have to stay engaged in their art form. I think everyone stay highly engaged in it. I think that's how Jack was able to pull everybody together, because we were all doing what we were doing 150% and had some kind of contact. I couldn't imagine what was in Jack's mind, what was the plan, but I knew it was going to be something that we had to work, and there's nothing wrong with that. I mean, if you don't have to work, I'm discouraged if it don't work. I lose faith in things.
So the Museum of Time, you know, there's a book called Self Speaks. It talks about parallel realities and consciousness way beyond what we've been fed about so-called three-dimensional reality, which we all aware of. So she talks about the concept, there's a museum of time, which means if you go someplace like where you kind of feels familiar to you, like, and somebody's going to say something to you and they say, man, you know what they're going to say. And you have these thoughts, and it's a bleed through. That's what they call a bleed through from another time that sort of cross and mesh. And sometimes, if you're not, open to them, it can be kind of disorientating. You know. So that's what the idea is. Like Muhal's playing that. Everybody brought music that challenged us, but we rose to the occasion because we like being challenged. But everybody's like open, and sometimes there's disagreements, but ultimately it's going to the goal of saying what works best, And so everybody sort of comes around to an accord to say, yeah, that's great. Like Henry has suggested for one of my pieces, or Muhal and I did how we organized the solos. And so that's part of the music too. One of the things about this is that we bring that individualism here, but that high level of improvisation, which is, Muhal said to quote him, is an expectation. I expect these guys, and myself, to just take it to the next level. Right. And I know we'll do that, and continue to do that, together and in our own individual pursuits.